Now, it looks like we got some speculation going on. There's some speculation going on that maybe the vice president has already been chosen for Kamala Harris. This is not confirmed, but there's some pretty interesting stuff going on. So there's this tweet from this guy. His name is Cliston Brown. He says, "My source in Kentucky informs me that Governor Andy Beshear has gotten additional security detail protection. I don't know who this guy is. I don't think he's actually qualified in any way or anything like that. But it looks like some people are kind of running with this tweet, and it's kind of like sparking a bunch of controversy around it or some speculation. But I want to say this guy, I don't know who this is. He's not like a vetted source or anything like that, but it looks like it's really taking off. And so a bunch of people, some people are even reporting on this. But there's a lot more going on. So yesterday, the First Lady Britainy Beshear, I don't know, I've never seen Brittany spelled like that before, Brittany. I don't know if it's pronounced differently. Let me know down below. But she says, "Every day I see Andy work so hard to make the right decisions and to lead with empathy, strength, and courage. It's never easy, but he always remains committed to doing what's right." And it's a picture of them, kind of looking sort of happy, or she's got sort of a glowing smile going on. He's kind of got a smile, though he looks a little bit scary. And so she just randomly kind of posted this yesterday, and then he responds. He says, "Everything I do is only possible because I have my best friend by my side. Supportive you, love you, Brittany." So again, this is kind of like very sort of presidential, it appears, or sort of national candidate type of thing, where he's trying to kind of, project that image or that aura. Obviously, you guys know this is the politics 101 type of stuff to do. Make yourself look like a family person, all this. Hey, here's me and my wife. I think especially with JD Vance, I think it's kind of become even more sort of interesting to do that. But this kind of seems kind of bizarre because it seems super political. Then you have like this tweet from this dude, which is unconfirmed, I would say. I don't know where this source really got this info from. But we also have more. We have an MSNBC report. These are verified sources. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is officially being vetted by the Harris campaign as a potential vice presidential nominee pick, according to two sources familiar with the process. That's just from today. It's actually just from like 2 hours ago. So it actually appears that this is actually starting. Official vetting process is starting now, and we also have. This one is a Reuters reporter saying Harris and her yet-to-be-named running mate will stage battleground state tour next week, signaling decision is close. So potentially this is telling us the signaling decision is close. There also is a report coming out that says that Kamala has not chosen her VP yet. Obviously, we can't take that to be super true because she's obviously going to want to, her team's going to want to put out whatever is best she views, even if she already knows who it is. But it'll be pretty interesting here. So there seems to be too much going on for it to be absolutely nothing. But again, this is not confirmation that it's him. I think Beshear would be an interesting pick. He's from Kentucky. And so he'd be an interesting pick. I think he would be, him and Walz appear to be like the progressive choices. I'm not sure like how progressive Beshear is, but I think the requirements of being progressive in this situation is not like being, like a Bernie Sanders from 2016 or 2020. I think it's kind of more like a compromise kind of progressive position. And so I'm actually kind of fully behind Walz at this point. I actually think Walz is actually a better option than Shapiro now. After watching videos of both Shapiro and Walz, I'm actually now convinced that Shapiro is not going to be the best person. And I think that, the situation of actually picking a vice president from a state, like a swing state, doesn't really even happen that often, at least not in recent memory. So I don't think that's too big of a problem. And then also, I think after watching Walz, I think that he actually has a lot of potential to have crossover appeal to not only moderates, but even maybe potentially Republicans, hopefully. And so I would like to see how that pans out. And I think I'd be willing to take the risk. And obviously, I think his progressivism would be really helpful in the office. And I think he would be a great balancing act to Kamala Harris. I really love Walz's vibe. He's really, really good in rhetoric and articulating stuff. He even started this whole weird thing that's really clicking and really working against the Republicans. He really set that off and started that, right? And so I would really like to see him. I guess Beshear would kind of be like sort of a compromise pick. Kelly, I think, is useless. I don't know what Kelly brings to the table. There's no way they're choosing Kelly unless they're stupid. And then the other person is Shapiro is obviously the other person. Coop has actually dropped out of the race. He already said, hey, I'm not even in the sweepstakes anymore. So Coop was reported to be kind of a high-level person too. One of the reports actually had said that he was in the final shortlist. The Bloomberg one had said it was Walz. It was actually Walz, Kelly, and Shapiro. Beshear's not even in the reporting for the final shortlist, but it appears that there's some kind of weird stuff going on, plus this report that randomly drops 2 hours ago. Hey, he's being officially vetted by the Harris campaign, and hey, Harris and her running mate are going to be, stage battleground state tours next week and whatever. So it'll be really interesting. I think a lot of this also could potentially be just kind of a tryouts. You're kind of trying to try out for a basketball team, trying to advertise yourself. So maybe that's kind of what's going on here. I don't really know. But there just seems to be a lot of stuff happening for me to be like, oh, it's just kind of all just completely nothing. But it'll have to be really fascinating to see. I wouldn't be like super sad if you got Beshear, but I think I've kind of gotten a little bit attached to Walz at this point, to the point where I would definitely be disappointed just that it's not him. After watching him, I don't know how you don't just get like super hype and just excited when you listen to him speak. It's just really, really exciting, and being able to see what he does. And then I think I was kind of stuck on the idea of Shapiro being more electable, but I think that he's probably not that much more electable, to be honest. It doesn't make the ticket that much more electable. So I think that I'm firmly in Team Walz at this point. So I would be disappointed, but it would be much better than Shapiro, at least from a progressive standpoint. I don't know how Beshear's electability versus Shapiro's would be. We would have to see, but let me know what you guys think. Is it Beshear? Is this just kind of like, is this just kind of some noise, some rumors? Who do you want it to be? I'm definitely Team Walz. I hope the pick is Walz. I think it would be great. But yeah, we'll have to see.